Welcome back. So far, we have seen about cellular concept, handoffs, prioritizing handoffs, practical considerations, interference and system capacity. Now, let us see about the methods to improve coverage and capacity. In a cellular network, the main goals are coverage and capacity. Coverage, it provides a strong signal over a wide geographical area. Capacity, it supports a large number of users simultaneously. As the number of mobile users increases, the network must improve both coverage and capacity. There are several techniques which are used to achieve these two goals. The common techniques which are used to expand the capacity of cellular systems are cell splitting, sectoring, microcell zoning. Cell splitting, it is the process of dividing a large cell into several smaller cells. Or we can say the process of subdividing a congested cell into smaller cells with its own base station and reduced transmit power. Corresponding reduction there will be in antenna height and also in corresponding reduction will be in transmitter power. Splitting of cells reduces the cell size, and also since it reduces the size of the cell, more number of cells has to be used. If there are more number of cells, which leads to more number of clusters. More number of clusters leads to more number of channels. More number of channels leads to higher capacity. So by defining new cells which have a smaller radius than the original cells, and by installing these smaller cells which are called microcells between the existing cells, capacity increases due to the additional number of channels per unit area. Cells are split to add channels with no new spectrum usage. That the original base station A has been surrounded by 6 new microcell base stations, which is shown in the figure. The smaller cells were added in such a way as to preserve the frequency reuse plan of the system. Cell splitting scales the geometry of the cluster. Then next it is about sectoring. It divides a cell into 3 or 6 sectors using directional antennas instead of one omnidirectional antenna. This technique reduces 4-channel interference also by using directional antennas. So the factor by which the 4-channel interference is reduced depends on the amount of sectoring used. Cell sectoring keeps R untouched and reduces D by R. Capacity improvement is achieved by reducing the number of cells per cluster so that frequency reuse can be increased. And also it is necessary to reduce the relative interference without decreasing the transmitter power. Consider a normal cell radiates signals in all directions 360 degrees. But in sectoring, the cell is divided into 3 sectors of 120 degrees each or 6 sectors of 60° each. Here the co-channel interference may also be decreased by replacing the single omnidirectional antenna by several directional antennas, each radiating within a specified sector, so that transmit power also reduced by 12 dB in order to fill in the original coverage area with microcell while maintaining this to interference requirement. A directional antenna transmits to and receives from only a fraction of the total number of co-channel cells. Thus, the co-channel interference is reduced. And also it improves the signal quality. Disadvantages: more antennas required, and also the system complexity is increased. Example, a crowded stadium uses sector antennas to effectively serve users in different directions. Next is about microcell zoning. Microcell zone concept, it divides a cell into several zones which are connected to a single base station. Here cell is divided into microcell or zones. Each microcell or zone is connected to the same base station by coaxial cable, fiber optic cable, or microwave link. Each zone here uses a directional antenna. And also, as mobile travels from one zone to another, it retains the same channel, that is without handoff. The base station simply here switches the channel to the next zone site. Mobile is served by the zone with the strongest signal. While the cell maintains a particular coverage area, the co-channel interference also reduced because the large central base station is replaced by several low-power transmitters, and also directional antennas are used. Then decreased co-channel interference also improves here signal quality and capacity. So now let us see how this again zone, microcell zone works. One base station controls multiple zones. Each zone will have its own antenna. As the user moves between zones, the serving antenna charges without a handoff to another base station. Advantages: again, improves coverage, reduces interference, fewer handoffs, better signal quality, lower cost than installing many independent base stations. At the same time, it requires careful planning and also more complex antenna connections. An airport uses one base station with multiple zone antennas to provide seamless coverage across different terminals. Cell splitting, real-time examples, if you see cell splitting as busy city centers and shopping malls where many users are present. Sectoring, cricket stadiums, railway stations and airports to reduce interference. Microcell zone concept, airports, university campuses and large office complexes with where continuous coverage is needed.